This week of West Michigan Whitecaps baseball has not been for the faint of heart here at LMCU Ballpark. I don't need to tell you guys at home, it has been hot. But imagine instead of watching the game here from a nice shaded area, holding a nice cold beer, instead you were down on the field wearing a 20-pound of fur and dancing like your life depended on it. That is the reality for Crash the River Rascal and his pals Roxy and Frankie the Swimming Pig. I've got Nate Phillips with the Whitecaps here with me. Nate, you got to admire the commitment that the mascots for the Whitecaps show every single day.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. You know, like already despite the heat, being a mascot is a really tough job. But then, yeah, you add on 90+ degree temperatures and it gets a little bit squirrely, if you don't mind the pun there. So yeah, we do the best we can to make sure these guys are in tip-top shape for all of our games.
Yeah, you know, I noticed they're not mailing it in. They're down there dancing. We're showing some video right now of them just having a lot of fun with the fans. But as much as they probably want to stay out there with the fans, you guys do a really good job of making sure they take their breaks. Yeah,
we do. You know, again, we want them to have a great time here at the ballpark too. So from the time they arrive here to the time they leave, we are just pushing the hydration. Gatorade, get some water, make sure you're well fed before you get here, all those sorts of things. We've got plenty of spots with AC around the ballpark. We've got some storm tunnels too where they normally scurry up and hide for a little bit, and sometimes those storm tunnels can be about 20 degrees difference from the playing field and off the field, so they love to get recharged in those spaces.
I hear with the Grand River so close, they might just take a dip every once in a while.
They absolutely do. You know, again, like being swimming pigs and river rascals and all those sorts of things, like if it's their last resort, they're hopping in the Grand, no problem.
So tell me, when a sports team is looking for a mascot, what are some characteristics you look for to make sure that you can survive these conditions like Frankie and Crash and Roxy?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, it's the first question that normally comes up is like, hey, how can you handle the heat? And how long can you handle the heat? And you know, and you find out pretty quickly if some of these mascots can do it or not. And so even when they're training back in March, April, in those colder months, when it starts to creep up with the temperatures, you can tell pretty quick that you know, they're up against it a little bit.
Every sports team in the country claims to have the hardest working mascots in sports, but after what I've seen here at LMCU Ballpark this week, I think there's no doubt it's Frankie, it's Crash, and it's Roxy, but we're not that tough. So air-conditioned press box, right?
Yeah.
You want to get up there?
Yeah, I thought the segment was never going to end, so let's go. Let's get out of here.
Go.
Okay.
Live at LMCU Ballpark, I'm Matt, he's Nate. We'll be right back.